The Saints jump down to a 14-0 lead on a couple of touchdown passes from Drew Brees to Marcus Colston. And as promised, pressure was put on rookie quarterback Sam Bradford. 4 knockdowns, 6 hurries, and a sack, including a big interception return for a touchdown. Malcolm Jenkins. A 14-6 game. Rams were threatening, and now it is 21-6 in favor of the Saints. And follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. So quick impressions and what we meant to anticipate, guys.
Well, I'm impressed with how the Rams have hung in there. I know it's 21-6, but they keep coming back. And except for that interception for the pick six, they were in great position to be right in this game.
I'm impressed with how the Saints continue to play well on defense. Their statistics so much better this year than last year, except in takeaways. But the old Saints emerged near the end of the half with Malcolm Jenkins' return for a touchdown.
Okay, we're set for the second half kickoff, and the latest report on Courtney Roby. He has movement in his hands and feet as he was hit and taken off on a stretcher. And second half underway, Danny Amendola returning again from the end zone for the Rams and dropped at the 23.5-yard line. And so Sam Bradford coming out. He was 7 of 13 for 91 yards and the critical interception in the first half for St. Louis. Those are his numbers. Steven Jackson gained 61 yards rushing and 41 as a receiver. So he's gone over 100 already.
Guy averages 119 yards per game from scrimmage. Been doing that since 2006.
Gets the carry to start the third quarter and gets a yard. And let's take a look at all the numbers here in the first half.
Well, right away, what jumps out at me, 0 for 4 on third downs for the Rams. That doesn't keep drives going against a tough Saints defense.
And then when you look at 8 for 9 for the Saints, that does keep drives going. And a lot of those have been third and short.
And the Saints taking advantage of both Ram turnovers for touchdowns, second down and 9. Bradford trying to get it to Laurent Robinson. And it'll be third and long for St. Louis.
Bradford's a little bit affected right now by the pressure. We've done some games, and this is the first time I've seen him look a little frustrated. And he's going to need to get it back together here quickly.
Saints have won 5 in a row. And they've averaged 30 points a game in those 5 wins. Incomplete, and it was intended for Amendola, and the coverage by Malcolm Jenkins. So 3 and out for the Rams on their first possession to start the second half.
And this is where the lack of speed at wide receiver for the Rams shows up. The Saints defensive backs don't think anyone can run past them, so they went to a man-free coverage. Darren Sharp was the free safety in the middle over the top of everything. Everyone else matched up man-to-man, and Malcolm Jenkins breaks up that pass.
Reggie Bush, and Sean Payton said Bush would return punts when the field position looked good, and it does here. Donnie Jones kicking.
Oh, you don't want to put it right down the middle for this guy.
Well, good hang time, and here is Bush at the 17. And he is dropped at the 25 by Brent Miller. Pressure on Bradford, and you knew that was coming from Greg Williams all day.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Nissan's year-end sales event. For holiday offers, visit your local Nissan dealer today. And by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K.
First down at the 25. Drew Brees, 19 of 27 for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. And this pass is it caught. It was between the legs. It was a drop by Marcus Colston. How do you assess the Rams defense, Jim, to this point?
Well, you know, they gave up 2 touchdowns on the first 2 drives, but since then they've really settled down. They've adapted to the pace and the rhythm that the Saints are throwing at them, and they're playing well, Dick.
One of the touchdowns, of course, was a defensive score on the interception. 2nd and 10. Reggie Bush knocked out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd down and long. Chris Chamberlain, starting today's game, had a broken hand last week. There you see the first half possessions of the Saints after the 2 quick scores. Good job done by the Rams, as you point out.
And great sound effects there, huh? Felt like it was right there in your face. That you got our Fox sound guy down there. Felt like they were right in our living room.
See, you thought it was fun being a coach, but up here you get the sound effects.
This,
you almost broke down and threw yourself into the play, didn't you?
3rd down and 7. Rams looking for a stop here. After they were 3 and out, here's Drew Brees. Brees' pass, and it is knocked away. And it was intended. Craig Dahl had a chance on picking it up, intended for Lance Moore.
Trying to throw it in there, and that's actually Marcus Colston coming from the 3rd guy inside, and the ball's behind him inside instead of to the outside, and popped up where Dahl almost has a chance to catch the football. But it has to be frustrating for Sean Payton and his offense. You set such a breakneck pace, you score twice, and once again, they start to stall a little bit in the middle parts of the game.
Amendola back deep, good kick by Morstead. Amendola at the 20. And this little guy can play. As a high school performer in Houston, used to go against his dad's team. Dad coached a different team that he played on, and he could play.
Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator for the Saints. Earlier talking with Jonathan Vilma, his middle linebacker, who's an extension of him on the field. Drew Brees, Sean Payton on offense, Vilma and Williams on defense.
Bradford goes underneath to Fells, and Fells with an extra effort gets 9 yards. And there is Payton and Brees, who you were pointing out, on the other side of the ball.
Well, that connection between play caller and middle linebacker and quarterback is so critical, because you're looking at Vilma here. He's an extension of Greg Williams on the field. Drew Brees is an extension of Sean Payton on the field.
And you made the point earlier, Jim, about James Laurinaitis having free reign on the field to make calls and checks. Jonathan Vilma has the same thing on his side.
Jackson on 2nd and 1 gets the 1st down to the 45. What happens when the defensive man, like you were, is the head coach dealing with the quarterback?
Well, you'd hope that you have enough trust in your offensive coordinator that you could kind of let him do it. When I was in Atlanta with Mike Vick, I drove our offensive coordinator, Greg Knapp, crazy, because he'd be talking to Mike, hey, do this, do that, and say, hey, Mike, just run, you know?
Use your strengths.
Yeah.
1st down for the Rams on their 45. Play action. Bradford drills it, and it's caught by Brandon Gibson. Changes direction in Saints territory and dragged down at the 23 by Malcolm Jenkins. A 32-yard pickup for the Rams.
What a terrific move by Gibson. And as deep as the safeties play for the Saints, Jim, this is what I don't expect this. Look at how deep he is, all right? Look how far that distance is between the line of scrimmage and him. Now watch the catch by Gibson. When a safety's that deep, I wouldn't expect the second move to get by him as that one did.
Great point.
Longest play from scrimmage for the Rams. 1st down on the Saints 23. Here's Jackson, who's tackled from behind by the strong safety Roman Harper, and stopped for no gain.
What's working for the Rams right now is their play action and their movement stuff that gets Bradford out of the pocket. With so much pressure coming up the middle out of this defense, they need to get him on the move. The other thing is they can't get away from the run game. Even though they're not having big success with a lot of long games, it's still got to be a threat.
And the reason that they have the threat with the play action is because of what you just said, the run game. Without them being able to run it somewhat effectively, there is no play action to be able to throw.
Second and 10, and a movement by the left tackle, Roger
False
Saffold.
start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, remaining second down.
You can't get down here in scoring position and then have those critical pre-snap penalties. You shoot yourself in the foot, and we're in the dome, and it's loud, and it's hard, but you've got to have the discipline to hang in there if you want to be able to put 7s on the board and not just 3s on the board.
Now it is second and 15, and back to the 28. Bradford on the screen pass to Billy Bajema, his first catch of the game, and is tackled by Jabari Greer and loses a yard.
Well, watch the fullback Miller. He misses his block out here, and that was critical. You just saw it out of the corner of your eye there, but he's got to make that block. If he makes that block, that play goes.
And Jabari Greer able to slip past it. The one guy in this situation that the Rams have not found all game long, Denario Alexander. I'm not even sure he's on the field on this play.
It'll be third and 15. Empty backfield for the rookie Bradford. Bradford going for LaRon Robinson, who got turned around. Well covered downfield by Malcolm Jenkins. And fourth down coming up. And the field goal team will be coming in Josh Brown.
The protection is good by the offensive line. And allows Sam Bradford to be clean in the pocket and make the throw. But LaRon Robinson not sure which shoulder to look over to find the football. If he stays with the first shoulder, which is the outside shoulder, he has a chance to make the play. When he looked back inside, he gave away that chance.
So the Rams trying for their third field goal. Brown from 46. And the field goal is no good. He hooked it. So an opportunity goes by the boards for the Rams, who come out with no points, and the score remains 21-6 in favor of the Saints.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. The signal is yours. Wield it to transmit anything you want. Verizon.
Josh Brown wide left on the 46-yard attempt.
And this is just a bad route by LaRon Robinson. We've got a free safety in the middle. And Bradford's trying to throw that ball out away from the safety, and I don't know why he looks over his inside shoulder there.
From the 36, Pierre Thomas. And first game back after missing 9 with an ankle injury. Only his 4th carry, does not gain anything as Laurinaitis is in there, and he's on a pitch count today, just getting back. Reggie Bush back for his 3rd game.
But Gary Gibson really stacked that play up. The defensive tackle, Gary the Bear, did a nice job, which allowed Laurinaitis to come in and help clean things up.
Second down and 10. Reggie Bush now in there. Bush on the catch. Tackled by Quincy Butler, as well as Brian Keel, getting 5 yards. Quick Hit NFL Football gives sports fans a chance to coach their own NFL team for free. Choose your favorite NFL team, call the plays, and guide your team to victory. Play today at foxsports.com or NFL.com.
I know they're up 21-6, but I think Sean Payton thinks this picking up this 3rd down is critical because they have not established much rhythm since the first quarter on offense.
Thomas and Bush both in there now, 3rd and 5. And Brees stepping up, drills it, and it's caught. And it's Lance Moore with the first down as he gets into Rams territory to the 46, picking up 13.
Just way too much time for a guy like Drew Brees to stand back there and survey the field. Great protection. They only rush 3 here, drop 8 into coverage, and they just can't get to him. And he was looking out here, but it's well covered, and eventually Guys get open in zone.
Sean Payton said Lance Moore is the smartest player on the offensive team after Drew Brees. Quite a compliment. Brees regains his footing and going deep. Double coverage, knocked away. Meacham, the intended receiver. And good defense downfield. The Rams had him pegged with Dahl and Butler.
Watch Drew Brees on this play. He slips as he comes out after the play fake to Pierre Thomas, but there's no panic. And then the second thing that occurred to me was he's throwing into double coverage, but he thinks his receivers have an opportunity to come down with the football even double covered, so he puts it out there and gives them that opportunity.
Meacham does not have a catch in this game. He has been a hot receiver. And Reggie Bush, no gain. Chris Chamberlain making the tackle. Meacham in the last 3 games has 3 touchdown catches, but today has been shut out.
To your point, Charles, Sean Payton told us he doesn't feel like the matchups that they get deep with their safeties on the wideouts are anything to worry about. So he's just going to loft the ball up there, feeling that his receivers against these Ram safeties have an opportunity to make a play on any ball that's in that 50-50 area.
Saints are 9 of 11. How about those numbers on 3rd down? 3rd and 10. Brees' pass is caught. It'll be a first down to Colston. So now 10 of 12 for the Saints, coming in 2nd in the league when they have 3rd downs on offense and a first down to the 35.
It's a tremendous collection of receivers, a true plethora of riches. But how about the protection that allowed Drew Brees to remain clean in the pocket, step forward, and deliver another strike downfield?
Colston with 5 catches and 2 touchdown receptions and a first down on the 35 of the Rams. Pierre Thomas. Wrestled down by Chamberlain after picking up 4. And another Saint player is shaken up.
I think it might be a shoe issue there. Look like John Stinchcomb.
Yep, he's
need a
all
little
right.
bit of help to pop that size, whatever, back onto those dogs and get up and play again.
It's interesting how that offensive line has been intact, and that is really a secret to a team's success any year.
Right, you know, the continuity amongst those 5 guys is so critical.
2nd down and 6. Brees pumps once. Caught, touchdown, Lance Moore. 31 yards, and the Saints add to their lead.
Nice pump fake. Freezes the defensive back. And then wide open Moore down the field. The problem right now that the Rams are having is they're not able to generate any kind of pass rush with 4. They need to start adding a 5th and a 6th rusher if they plan on affecting Brees at all.
Garrett Hartley. And the Saints lead it 28-6. So Brees is delighted, as is Lance Moore, who has 7 touchdown catches. Colston with a pair today, also has 7 for the season. And we're back here at the Superdome. Drew Brees, Lance Moore, and the Rams trying to defend Drew Brees. No one is doing a good job of it in the league. Danny Amendola back deep to return the kick. Thomas Morstead with under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Here's Amendola. And he's tackled by Marvin Mitchell. How about Drew Brees and his leadership?
Well, great quarterbacks are great leaders, and this guy is about as good as they get.
The Saints with a 28-6 lead, looking for their 6th victory in a row, trying to keep pace with the Falcons, who won today. There'll be a game behind Atlanta if New Orleans goes on and wins this one. First down at the 21 for the Rams. Here's the quick pass to Amendola, and tackled immediately by Tracy Porter, and a loss of 1.
Let's go back to the touchdown and circle the right corner here. Quincy Butler. He's responsible for the deep third. That's the deepest outside zone. But he gets his eyes back inside. He sees the flat route, reacts a little bit to the pump, and it's over from there because you are not going to catch that receiver right there. Too much speed with Moore.
And there's Steve Bagnola bringing his defense together to talk to him about a few adjustments. So much for just adjustments happening at halftime. They happen in every series, almost every play.
Second down and 11. And knocked down. Good play. Jabari Greer makes the play against Laurent Robinson, and it'll be third down and 11. And now you can see the Saints playing with the lead, playing with a lot of swagger on offense and defense here.
Zero fear of the defensive backs against the Rams receivers in terms of them running past them and making a big play. They don't have any right now. They're just going to stay right on their hip, run with them, and try and make a play on the ball.
Bradford under pressure, and down he goes at the 10. And that time, Roman Harper. So the secondary playing big time for the Saints.
Here's Harper to the left side, right there. He comes through. Steven Jackson tries to block him, but gets there way too late. Roman Harper went to his first Pro Bowl last year. He's determined to go back again. An underrated defensive back who makes a lot of plays.
A loss of 10, and that is the second sack by the Saints, and it was a DB who got it. And so Donnie Jones will be kicking. Reggie Bush standing in midfield for the Saints. Another good kick sends Bush back to the 34. And good coverage that time after the great punt of 57 yards. Well, Fox tonight, an all-new Family Guy ventures to the North Pole. But Santa's workshop isn't merry. The elves are mutants, and the reindeer are scary. An all-new one-hour Family Guy tonight at a special time, 8:30, 7:30 Central after The Simpsons on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, the early game stories, and of course the big one today, Giants-Vikings postponed because of the roof collapse at the Metrodome. They'll play tomorrow in Detroit, 7 o'clock Eastern. Lions shock the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is hurt, and the Buccaneers beat the Redskins. Their playoff hopes have been enhanced for sure. First down at the 40 for Brees. At it again. Completes. Shy of midfield to Shockey. Gain of 9.
Mobility of Drew Brees in the pocket here, Jim. We've been talking about the Saints offensive line. They've done a nice job, but here he buys time with his feet, and all it is just shifting and sliding in the pocket to find the throwing lane to make it downfield.
Here's Reggie Bush. And Bush tackled by Chris Long.
Mobility isn't always Mike Vick running down the field for first downs. Mobility is the ability to stay alive in the pocket and extend a play. And Charles, you sounded just like a quarterback coach there, talking about staying alive with his feet and buying time and giving ground. I think you got a future in coaching.
You know better than that, but I appreciate your kind words.
First down, and the handoff is to Pierre Thomas. Thomas will have a first down with his best run of the afternoon. Well, that means that if Jim Mora ever would coach again, you're going to have a job on the staff.
I'm going to at least get an interview.
Quarterback.
I'm going to get an interview.
And just keep repeating that. Feet, feet, feet. Concentrate on your feet.
Well, how about the feet of Pierre Thomas there, Jim? 9 games missed. Getting him back for the stretch run. We watched him work out a little bit on Friday.
How about having 3 backs like these guys?
Well, just think about what they did while they were gone.
14 yards.
That's where Chris Ivory emerged.
And Julius Jones is inactive today. He's another one. Brees going to take off. And he slides about 2 yards short of the first down. With under a minute and a half to go, he gets 8 yards. And the Saints trying to make it 6 in a row. And it's interesting, guys, as we take a look at the ad-libbing here.
What doesn't he do well? He can throw the ball down the field. He's great orchestrating an offense, and he knows how to slide.
And Josh Freeman needs to take a lesson from him, the young player from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They spent time together this summer where they said Josh Freeman to Drew Brees, hey, learn how to be a real pro. Learn how to do it like the guy who was a Super Bowl MVP does it. They did not cover sliding because we've seen Josh. That's one skill he still needs to work on.
On that last play, Pierre Thomas getting the first down for the Saints. Under a minute to play in the third. The rushing story. Thomas stays in the game. First down on the 24 of St. Louis. Here's Brees. Gets rid of it, and it's caught by Thomas. And look how quickly Brees got rid of it. He could sense the sack, and he flipped it to Thomas.
It's uncanny. This guy is so special. He sees everything. He feels pressure. He knows where everyone's going to be.
He wanted to strike on the sideline downfield.
Yeah, and he's so accurate, Charles. It doesn't matter if there's pressure on him or he's standing in a clean pocket. He's accurate.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. Brees with 3 touchdowns today. And the score, Saints 28, Rams 6. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. Start of the fourth quarter, Dick Stockton, Charles Davis, and Jim Mora. Saints are threatening. They have a second down and 1 on the Rams' 15-yard line. And the pitch to Reggie Bush. Flag is down. It'll be a first down. And out of bounds inside the 10, but a penalty.
Holding, offense number 85. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
That was the tight end, David Thomas.
There's David Thomas working.
What
he did was he grabbed the ankle at the end. I mean, if that was the Iowa State wrestling tournament, that's 2 points for a single leg takedown.
Boy, they're powers, aren't they? Iowa State.
Iowa State, Oklahoma, Minnesota now involved.
Is there anything you don't know about, Charles?
Oh, by the way, Cornell's #1 in the nation now.
There you go. Throw the Ivy League in. Second down and 8. Brees rolling out, going for the end zone. Off the hands of Colston. Trying to go to him for the 3rd touchdown of the game. Not this time. And it'll be 3rd down and 8.
I didn't know he could overthrow Marcus Colston.
No, because that's go-go gadget, as you called him earlier, and you think that he'd just be able to extend up and catch that ball.
I mean, his catch radius is one of the best in the league. And I'm really surprised that this one actually got over the top.
You saw him walking in the tunnel today, you were telling me.
He and Robert Meacham coming in the tunnel after an early warm-up. So impressive. Terrific kids, first of all. And just so impressive when you look at their makeup and their build. And you think, my goodness. No wonder Drew Brees has so much fun showing up every day.
3rd down and 8. 10 out of 12 on 3rd down conversions. Can they keep it going? And this pass incomplete. And really a tough play as Lance Moore was the closest to the ball. And it'll be 4th down coming up for the Saints.
Watch. This is supposed to be a screen inside to Reggie Bush. He starts outside. Now he's trying to break back inside, but a nice job there. C.J. Ayu, 99 was the first one, and then James Hall, number 96, the second, to knock the timing of the play off and disrupt it, and Brees had to throw it away.
So here's Garrett Hartley, who's 10 of his last 11, including 5 in a row. This will be a 40-yard attempt by Hartley. And the kick is good. Hartley, who was replaced for 2 games by John Carney. But Sean Payton never lost confidence in his kicker. He gets 3, and it's now 31-6, the Saints.
Today's game is sponsored by Despicable Me. Bring home the comedy event on Blu-ray and DVD this Tuesday. By Autotrader.com. Now compare new and used cars side by side at Autotrader.com. And by Burger King. Have it your way.
Rams losing here, and Seattle losing 40-14 to San Francisco. The 49ers could move to within a game of both of those teams in the NFC West. Now, the 49ers play at San Diego, but in 2 weeks, The 49ers play at St. Louis, and the 49ers won the first game between these teams. So interesting in the NFC West as Amendola returning from the goal line and upended shy of the 20. And losing the ball, but down by contact.
Charleston on the tackle for the Saints. And once again, our 22s we were on the ball. Highland Johnson and Chris.
A couple of the players briefly pushing and shoving. It'll be a first down at the market at the 20.
The Rams need to get something going here, and that sounds like you're stating the obvious, but I'm not necessarily just talking for this game. I'm talking about confidence going forward in their next 3 games. We've got a challenge.
And the ruling on the field is that there was no fumble. We're coming over to talk on the Saints side. Charleston providing the hit on Amendola.
Is that ball moving and working its way free before he hits the ground?
Close.
Take a look here. It's going to be an interesting
New Orleans
call.
is not challenging the ruling on the field due to the fact about a clear recovery needs to be present in order for them to be able to get the football. First down, St. Louis.
That's a great job by Tony Corrente of coming over to Sean Payton, clearly explaining the rule and giving him a chance to pick up the challenge flag. And that's what the rule is meant to do. I thought Tony handled that perfectly, and I'm sure Sean's very thankful for that.
Very clean officiated. First and 10 at the 20. Bradford completes the pass to Gibson. And Gibson getting about 6.5 yards, making 7 on first down. Brought down by Roman Harper.
I think you're going to see a Rams team here in the 4th quarter that continues to fight. I think that's what Steve Spagnuolo has built in this team. And they need to build some confidence going forward. They've got 3 very, very important games left. They can still win the NFC West, but they need to get something going. And I'd be very surprised if they don't fight to the bitter end here.
Second down and 3. Steven Jackson, first down. And Jackson crosses the 35-yard line. Sharper and Harper bring him down, and a gain of 10 yards for Jackson.
And that's what I'm talking about right there, Dick. Look at the hurdle right here, and look at the intensity that he's running the football with. It's so important to Steven Jackson that he's on a winning football team, and he's got a chance here this year.
Whoever thought this team would be in any race in December? First and 10. Bradford pumps once. He's got LaRon Robinson, and the catch is made. It's indicated that the reception is made at the 36-yard line, make it the 34 with Greer covering.
This is a case where LaRon Robinson knows the ball's in the air and is able to make an adjustment that the defensive back is not. Jabari Greer late locating the football. Robinson able to do so and catches it. Gets his feet down. 1, 2. And takes it out of bounds for a really nice catch.
And has control as he does, Charles. 29-yard gain. First catch by Robinson. Here's Jackson, running room up the middle. First down and inside the 20 and close to the 15, with Sharper finally bringing him down. So Steven Jackson with a 19-yard pickup on that play.
This guy epitomizes the heart that these Rams are playing with, doesn't he? The way he runs, you just feel it sitting up here, the energy, the enthusiasm, the intensity. He wants it bad, Charles.
And the offensive line has not dropped their intensity in terms of their run blocking, created a nice hole for Steven Jackson.
95 yards for Jackson. First down at the 15. They'll go to him again. And he picks up about 2. We're early here in the 4th quarter. Dick Stockton along with Charles Davis and Jim Mora. Rams coming in tied for first in the NFC West, and the Saints riding a 5-game winning streak.
I guess you look at the score and you say, how can you sit up there in the booth and talk about this intensity? They're getting beat pretty good, but if you've been around the Rams and you're sitting here watching the game in person, you feel it, don't you?
Second down and 9. Yes, you do. This team is not self-destructed. Here's a pass to Danny Amendola. inside the 10. He's about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. And Roman Harper brings him down. We talked to Amendola, and what an interesting meeting we had with this little fighter, this spark plug of a guy that we saw.
And he was not a walk-on at Texas Tech. Many people want to put him in the same category as Wes Welker, who earned his way. Amendola committed as a junior, and you talked about him playing in high school against his dad. Beat his dad's team 2 out of 3 times. This kid is something else.
3rd down and 2. Bradford pass, and it's intercepted again by Malcolm Jenkins. And the Saints just won't let the Rams get in that end zone. 2nd interception by Jenkins, and the Rams look like they finally were going to get in. Not to be.
What you've got is a double between Jenkins and Sharper, who you can't see on Amendola here, and that allows Jenkins, when Amendola goes to the flat, to slough off and free up, and he gets the interception. 2 big plays by that young man today in the red zone.
And Laurent Robinson was the target, so the Saints have a first down on the 8-yard line, and the pass out dropped by Colston and covered by Fletcher, bringing up 2nd down.
Give Fletcher a little bit of credit. Remember, he hurt his shoulder early in this game. First series of the game, went out. We weren't sure he'd be back. He's made it back on the field for the majority of the snaps.
A learning experience for Sam Bradford.
Absolutely. You know, when you're a young player like this, you're going to have some games like this. You come into a hostile environment against a red-hot defense. It's going to pressure you. This kid will bounce back. He's got great poise. He's got confidence in himself. And even though he struggled today, look for him to finish the year very, very strongly.
Reggie Bush runs it out for a couple.
You know, it's interesting seeing that shot of him on the sideline. You know, inside is churning.
It's killing him.
And he's grinding. He's an unbelievable competitor. He was talking about playing ping pong. He thinks this guy on the team thinks he can beat me. He can't beat me.
Yeah, Amendola.
Right? But you notice that look on his face?
He's pissed.
It's not much different, though, than when he's thrown 2 touchdown passes.
Steve Spagnuolo was talking, and even Pat Shurmur, about they try drills in which they want the quarterback to throw an incomplete pass as part of a situation. He refuses to do that.
Not going to happen, Coach. Not going to happen.
3rd down and 8 from the 10. Now it's Pierre Thomas in the same backfield. Play action, Brees from the 1. Airs it out. And it's picked off by Craig Dahl with the interception. Dahl cutting in front of Lance Moore. And that is the 2nd interception thrown by Brees. And the Rams will get it back close to midfield when we come back.
Today's game is sponsored by Visa. More people go with Visa.
Oh, they're at the line. First down at the 50. After the interception by Dahl, the pressure is on, and the pass is caught by Vilma, hitting Steven Jackson. A ferocious hit as he caught it, but he held on, and there'll be a loss of 4. And Steven Jackson shaken up, stays in the game.
I'll tell you one guy who's not taking his foot off the pedal. That's Craig Williams. He is flat bringing it.
And Jonathan Vilma diagnosing and finishing off a play.
2nd down and 13. Bradford, and the pass is caught by Brandon Gibson to the Saints 49, and so the Rams trying to take advantage of the interception. And it was Craig Dahl who last week had his first career interception and now his 2nd. And Brees is a reaction for throwing his 2nd pick.
This is that was his 18th on the year, which ties his career high. But he got just a little bit greedy on that play, and Craig Dahl made him pay for it.
It'll be 3rd down and 8 on the 48 of the Saints. Keith Toston. Jackson on the sidelines. Remember, he was shaken up moments ago, wanted to stay in. So it's 3rd down and 8. Here comes everyone. And this pass is caught by Toston. He'll have a first down, stays in the field and getting close to the 25-yard line. And a big gain of 23 yards with Shanley following him downfield, and the Rams again in business.
Now they've got to go no huddle, but it's got to be much more of the hurry up variety as we tick down towards 8 minutes to go.
You know what, the Rams giving a good account of themselves, and once again, Jim Mora, this team fights. They may be down 31-6 to the Super Bowl champs. Here is Bradford, nowhere to go, and he's sacked back at the 34. That is the third time they've gotten to Bradford, and it's Charleston.
He's got to get rid of this ball. He just hung in there too long. He knows they need to get points on the board, so he's pressing a little bit, holding on it too long. But he's got to get rid of this thing.
So it'll be second down and 18 now. Ball back at the 33 of New Orleans. Steven Jackson checking back in. In there to block. Ball batted in the air. Incomplete. And it was Jeff Charleston who certainly made an impact here in this second half, getting a hand on it.
And now it's just free run towards the quarterback. There's Charleston, number 97. You push the pocket as deep as you can, and when the ball's released, get your hands up into the passing lanes, and that's a result.
How about the defensive leaders? Jenkins, 2 picks, 1 for a score. Jabari Greer with a fumble recovery, and Bilma has been all over the place. Third down and 18. Pass intended for Amendola. Roman Harper putting the pressure on. Coming in untouched to Sam Bradford, and it's fourth down.
We just saw something you don't see very often. That's Amendola with a clear drop on the ball thrown underneath. That doesn't happen often, but it was third and long. Greg Williams with pressure. Now we go to fourth and long, and the Rams have to go for it here. Any doubt in your mind on this one, Jim? Does he play coverage at all here?
Not a chance. You don't often pressure on 3rd and 18. He's bringing it. Look how many guys they have up. They got everybody up.
They need 18 yards to keep the ball. And the pass, Laurent Robinson has it, and he gets stopped at the 1. Laurent Robinson stopped by Jabari Greer at the 1-yard line. Trying to get that ball over the plane.
There's Greer.
No.
Knees definitely down there. Ball did not get to the end zone. So it's a good call by the officials, but they heat him up on 4th and 18.
And get 32 yards.
Yeah. Well, hey, he was squatting.
Oh,
Greer was looking for that pick 6 there, wasn't he, Charles?
He was trying to hang underneath to catch the underneath routes that he's seen, and he stops his feet on Amendola, and Laurent Robinson keeps running. Nice throw by Sam Bradford.
And the Rams call a timeout. And so with 4th and 18, Bradford hits Laurent Robinson, and the Rams trying to get in for their first touchdown of the game. And the big games on Fox continue in December. Next week, a rematch in a game that very well may decide the NFC East title as the Eagles travel to New York to take on the Giants. Then a week after that, the Giants again head to Green Bay for a showdown against the Packers. The big games are on Fox. Eagles, Giants next week. Giants, Packers in 2 weeks.
I think.
And let's take a look at the latest playoff picture. Falcons beat the Panthers. Bears losing to the Patriots. Eagles play later. And here it is. The handoff to Jackson. And Jackson is stopped, hit immediately. And it'll be second down and goal. Marvin Mitchell right in the middle of that scrum.
So it's a defensive play caller here on 2nd and short with a threat like Steven Jackson. How do you tell your team to play? Because to me, this is the down you throw on to have an opportunity.
Greg Williams telling his team, don't let them get in. Looks like the same formation, 2nd and goal. This time Bradford flush from the pocket and throws it away. Good pressure, Danny Clark coming in along with Will Smith.
Everyone covered though. They fake it inside to Steven Jackson, but they really didn't have a problem with that. Everyone else is covered in terms of eligible receivers, and they have to chase Sam Bradford out of the pocket, and he gets rid of it.
It'll be 3rd and goal, and Hank Fraley, the center, lining up as a tight end. Remember, they don't have the fullback in there. Here's Jackson. And Jackson stopped again. The ball comes loose. Roman Harper. And Bradford chases him down. Roman Harper comes out of the pack with the ball and runs it back to the 17-yard line. An 82-yard return of the fumble. Jackson trying to get in for the score here.
Number 1, there's Britt Miller on the lead, but the ball doesn't cut. Yes, well, I don't know about that. I mean, he's extending and putting it on the line. I don't know if that's going to be a fumble.
That's a touchdown.
To me, that's either a touchdown or he's down by contact.
Yeah, the knee may have been down.
Right.
That's a touchdown.
So either way you rule it, you've got to challenge if you're the Rams. You can't let that stand. Because the knee is already going down there. He's extending the football there.
Either way, this goes. Roman Harper tomorrow in the meeting room. Oh my
St. Louis
goodness.
is challenging on the ruling on the field that the runner did not score a touchdown.
A quarterback running down a defensive back, he will never, ever, ever hear the end of this from his teammates.
And you flip it over for the Rams, okay? Because Sam Bradford has shown his team the value of hustle.
And he showed him all year. He showed him right here. Look at Sam Bradford. You will see that many times the rest of this evening, the way Bradford chased down Harper. We'll be back. Mike Pereira in our Fox Command Center. What did you see here?
Well, I think you're looking at 2 things. Not a touchdown because the right shin, the right knee is down before the ball. There's your shot before the ball actually gets to the plane. So if it wasn't that, it'd be a touchdown. But here in this case, right shin being down,
After
those 2
reviewing
put
the
the ball
play,
at the
the runner
half-yard line.
was down by contact with the ball at the 1/2-yard line. It will be St. Louis's ball, 4th down and 1/2 to go at the 1/2-yard line.
So Mike, exactly right, Mike.
With the timeout.
So it's certainly
just one of those plays where the ball, you know, Dick pops out, but it is one of those where that you get a look at that right shin, and then they got to reset the clock because of the long return. But right call in replay. It's certainly not a fumble.
Mike, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
So does Roman Harper get to tell his teammates now that play never happened?
No, he still has to live with getting run down by Sam Bradford. But of all the plays in this game, Dick, and you alluded to it, that was the most impressive to me, Sam Bradford's effort.
It'll be 4th and goal. Jackson goes out to the left. Quarterback sneak. No signal.
Will be one in a second here as soon as I see him over the line. Well, determined that he has possession, I believe.
Touchdown. Sam Bradford on the quarterback sneak, and the officials wanted to make sure that the ball had crossed the plane, and the Rams finally score. But it was pretty difficult, wasn't it, guys?
It was.
And Roman Harper, who had the long run, what he thought would be a fumble recovery, and chased down by Sam Bradford.
Well, Sam Bradford runs him down, and then he scores the touchdown. If you're going to build a team around somebody, you want to build a team around a guy like that number 8 that you're looking at right there. No matter what the score, he's not giving up.
And in a play that never counted, Sam Bradford made people remember. Josh Brown with the extra point. Remember, this Ram team won 1 game last year, facing the defending Super Bowl champions today. And the kick is good. And the Saints lead now is 31-13 with 5:23 remaining in the 4th.
Look at this is after the fumble that turned out not to be a fumble by Steven Jackson. Sam Bradford running down Roman Harper. At first I thought he might have pulled something in his leg. But look at his teammates telling him, That quarterback just ran you down.
He'll never hear the end of it, ever.
And of course, after that happens, might need a little extra oxygen in there. But Sam Bradford's a young Colt. He stays in the game, and he scores the touchdown.
And the Rams, who knocked on the door so many times today, only to be knocked back because of interceptions. One return for a touchdown. Finally get it over on 4th down and goal. And remember, they had a 4th and 18 to set themselves up for this opportunity.
Well, we know what the Saints are about. We know that they've got an outstanding offense that now is very balanced with their run game. We know they've got a great quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. We know they play aggressive defense. And we know that, barring any unforeseen things, that there's a good chance they'll win the game today. But we're finding out a lot about the St. Louis Rams today in a game that's very difficult for them.
Pierre Thomas is going to go back and return this kick, but they expect an onside kick here. 5:23 to go. And here is the kick, and it will go out of bounds at the 42.
Kickoff out of
Flag
bounds.
there.
New Orleans will take the ball at the spot where it went out of bounds, first down.
On Friday, January 7th, it's one of the most anticipated bowl games of the season. The LSU Tigers take on the Texas A&M Aggies in a rivalry that is over 110 years old. Our exclusive coverage of the 75th AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic live from Cowboy Stadium will begin at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on January 7th in high definition on Fox. Mike Sherman, the former Packer coach, leading the Aggies.
They are the tri-champions of the Big 12 South this year. Lost the tiebreakers to go to the championships game, but very happy to be in the Cotton Bowl.
First down on the 43. Pierre Thomas breaking the tackle and picking up 6 yards before Laurinaitis brings him down. And let's go back to the very beginning, Jim Morrow, when we talked about the Saints team, and we said, are they reaching the gear? Now, this is a team that had a crisis late last year. They were 13-0, and their crisis came in early when they were 4-3 early in this season.
Yeah, well, they're hitting their stride at the right time down the stretch in December. They're playing outstanding on defense. They're running the football. Drew Brees, we know that even though he's thrown a couple interceptions today, he's going to be fine. I like the way they're headed right now at this point in the season.
Second down and 4 on the Ram 37. Here's Thomas with the carry. And he's brought down from behind after a gain of 3. Well, taking a look at the NFC South, and the Saints, despite a win today, will be still a game behind Atlanta. And of course, the Saints will be going against Atlanta on the road in Week 16 and already lost to them here.
And ultimately, they need Atlanta to lose twice. They need to beat them and have someone else beat Atlanta in order to win all the tiebreakers. So realistically, they're looking at a wild card going on the road. Because look at Atlanta's schedule. At Seattle, who's getting whacked today. 3rd time in 4 games they've given up 40 points or more, have the Seahawks.
3rd and 1. And Pierre Thomas close to the first down.
So I cannot wait for this game in 2 weeks when we're talking about New Orleans at Atlanta, if both of them hold serve to that point. Because Atlanta just does not lose in that dome. And when you think about what Mike Smith and Matt Ryan have done as a head coach quarterback combo, they don't lose in the dome very often.
No.
It is a first down.
Someday we might be talking about those two the way we talk about Belichick and Brady.
First and 10. The handoff to Pierre Thomas, and nothing there. And of course, you know, Mike Smith last year was a big deal for the Falcons to say they've gone back-to-back years with winning seasons, and now they're looking for much higher goals. Well, the Rams have called a timeout. They have 1 left with 3:04 remaining in the game, and a lot of new coaches and a lot of young quarterbacks really making an impact. Steve Spagnuolo and Radford. We talk about Mike Smith in his 3rd year, and you know, Matt Ryan, maybe a changing of the guard a little bit around the league.
Well, it appears that way. You know, in this division, the NFC South, with Brees and Ryan, I mean, those are two pretty darn good quarterbacks. And then you look out west and you say Bradford coming into the fold with Spagnuolo. That's going to be a team that really you got to keep your eye on over the next couple of years.
And if we stay in the NFC South, Josh Freeman, Raheem Morris.
Yep.
I mean, we're seeing this generation of quarterbacks coming out more pro-ready than ever, ready to play early. I mean, 7-on-7 passing camp right on through.
Second down and 10 at the 33, and the pitch to Thomas off the left side. And the Rams, who have not been able to win anywhere, only one win last year, trying to win their third consecutive road game after an 0-4 start. And here's how tough it is to win road games as far as the Rams are concerned. The last time they won 3 in a row away from home, 77, and before that back in 1949.
And that's taking into account winning a Super Bowl, the greatest show on turf years. That tells you how hard it is. What have we had now? Was it 34 teams, something like that? 34 teams have tried to win 3 in a row on the road, and only 4 of them have ultimately succeeded. Talk about 34 teams have won 2 in a row. And now you're talking about getting that third. It just doesn't happen very often. Happened to the Rams today. But if you told them before the year, 2 out of 3 on this road swing, I have a feeling that privately they would have taken that.
Oh, they'd definitely take that.
Third down and 9 for the Saints on the Ram 32. Drew Brees goes down at the 41. Eugene Sims, who was a 6th-round draft pick, not from Texas A&M, but West Texas A&M, and a loss of 8. That's the first sack for the Rams today. That will bring up 4th down.
4th down for the Saints.
And want to bring you up to date tonight on Fox, Running Wild at 7 o'clock Eastern, right after the game, followed by The Simpsons. 2 parts to The Simpsons, then Family Guy, a special 1-hour episode, and American Dad. That is our lineup tonight on Fox. And a timeout by the Saints. That is their first, and it comes with 2:15 on the clock. Now the NFC West is interesting, and Jim, you just mentioned an interesting point. San Francisco defeating Seattle 40-21, so the 49ers are the big gainers today. They'll be a game behind the Rams and the Seahawks. They're still very much alive, and when you look at the future with Sam Bradford, St. Louis is in solid shape as we take a look at the remaining games of the Rams and the Seahawks.
Well, they're the only team, the Rams are, in that division that have a young quarterback that they can build around. Of course, Matt Hasselbeck in Seattle is still playing at a high level and a very good player, but he's getting up in age a little bit. Great competitor, but you know, you can't fight Father Time. Sam Bradford is just a great player, young player, has a bright future, especially in that division.
And the punt by Morstead, trying to keep it in the field of play, but it goes in the end zone for a touchback. The Rams are out of timeouts, and the Saints still have 2 left. And a flag is down. Penalty marker.
Holding, kicking team number 59. St. Louis has opted to take the penalty after the touchback, puts the ball at the 30-yard line, first down.
It's on Anthony Waters. Next week, by the way, the Rams play Kansas City. As you look at the early game headliners, Michael Turner with 3 touchdowns to lead the Falcons. Hines Ward with a big game, going over 100 as the Steelers beat Cincinnati. And David Garrard as the Jaguars won a big one. They could end up being a home field champion in the AFC South.
Did they get ready for the Colts?
Right.
Coming up.
Keith Toston carrying the ball for the Rams and picking up 9 yards. As I was mentioning, the Rams play Kansas City next week. The Chiefs lost to San Diego 31-0 today in an annual Governor's Cup. It's like a college bowl game. Second down and 1. Keith Toston with a first down to the 48-yard line of the Rams, who trail 31-13.
The 49-yard line.
But they keep fighting, Dick. They keep fighting.
They do, and you know, the Rams will drop to 6-7. Seahawks also 6-7, and the leaders in the West are under 500.
Essentially no blood today for those leaders, but the problem is you might have brought San Francisco into the picture.
Flag is down as Toasted carries, picking up 8 yards on the play. And the story of this game, 2 red zone interceptions by the Saints, but the big one was Malcolm Jenkins, who actually picked off both of them. His 96-yard return for a touchdown. At the time, the Rams, had they scored a touchdown, would have narrowed it to 14-13. Instead, it was 21-6.
Illegal motion, offense number 84, was moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Denario Alexander. So that was the crux of the game to that point.
Yeah, the Rams were unable today to capitalize on good field position, some turnovers, and here the interception you talked about, Dick. But you know, the Rams did some good things, and they had some chances to make this game closer than it is. They're just not quite there yet, but they're certainly moving in the right direction as an organization.
And what we saw with Malcolm Jenkins, the ball hawking skills that you saw at Ohio State are starting to translate now to the pro game, whether he's playing safety or corner in the slot.
And the carry as we wind down to a minute to go by Keith Toaston. We want to thank our production and technical crew led by Pete Macheska, our producer, Artie Kempner, our director, Fran Morrison, our associate director, Yvonne Wagoner, who's been in charge of making sure those numbers have been timely and correct, and they have been. 2nd down and 12, and under a minute to go. The New Orleans Saints will go to 10-3. Still a game behind Atlanta in the South. Here's Toaston again. And with Atlanta, the #1 seed, and now New Orleans, are we looking at the 2 best teams in the NFC? Your thoughts?
I think so. I definitely think so. With the Bears getting blasted today, with Green Bay getting beat and Rodgers getting hurt, I think the 2 best teams, without a doubt, in the NFC are both in the same division.
Yeah, I agree with that totally, and we're going to find out about them as we go down the stretch. Both will be in the playoffs. One will have to be a wild card.
Well, Drew Brees threw 3 touchdowns today, and the 2 former coordinators with the Giants, not at the same time, shake hands. Rams knew they would have a tough haul today, and it was. And the final score, the Saints 31, the Rams 13. We'll be back here at the Superdome in New Orleans in just a moment. Back at the Louisiana Superdome, the New Orleans Saints win their 6th in a row, 31-13 over the Rams. And here's Kurt Menefee right now in Los Angeles with the AT&T post-game show.